Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It's Friday. We made it. We made it. And of course, we have some updates on Epstein and the IRS and about how apparently the IRS had been looking at things for some time. And for whatever reason, it didn't trigger the necessary oversight and reviews that it should have. However, it didn't trigger the necessary views, but we still don't really know, right? We don't really know all of what we need to know about Jeffrey Epstein's money and that trail of money. Obviously, he was being paid. Now, I'm going to talk to you this morning about one particular gentleman that funneled a lot of money to Epstein. And on top of funneling money to Epstein, there's still a connection with this guy to Trump still till today. I told y'all, you can believe in a lot of things when it comes to all of this stuff, but coincidences are not one of them. None of this stuff happening is a coincidence. Everything that is happening is deliberate, but none of it is a coincidence, okay? None of it, okay? You need to understand and be crystal clear. None of it is an accident. All right? So let me find it. So basically the IRS declined to audit Epstein at the time when he was, still around, even though a lot of things had been triggered about all this money coming through, right? And all this other stuff. Now, I'll read you a little bit of a story. Good morning, Lisa. First of all, let me stop for a second. I'm just reading and talking. Good morning to everybody. Happy Friday to you. Good morning, Money G. Good morning, Agnes, Carolyn, Lisa. Good morning and happy Friday. We made it, okay? We all made it. Now, I told you I was going to get on here earlier this morning. I meant to get on earlier than this, but I was digging into stories because, hold on, I'll wait to talk about this finance story because this finance story is huge because it goes into other caverns and taverns, and I'm going to talk about that this morning. Well, we're going to talk about a couple of things, but I wanted y'all to know we're going to have this discussion because some of these people that were paying this money to Epstein are still around Trump. They're still around Trump till today. Now, we don't want to be like MAGA, right? MAGA just lets somebody lie in their face. They don't care. They don't respect themselves enough to say, you're lying to me. You lied to me. You understand? Have enough respect for yourself when you catch somebody lying to you that you call them out on it. See, MAGA's too afraid to challenge Trump. You know what I mean? It's like an abusive relationship. They're afraid to challenge their abuser, right? Hey, Russ. Good morning, handsome. Hey, Linda. Good morning. Good morning, California. Good morning, Sunlight Party and Adventures with Catherine. I love that name. Good morning to you all. Good morning. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. One of the first things we're going to talk about this morning is Las Vegas. They're saying Las Vegas tip workers are saying their income has fallen by more than half as tourism plunges. I told y'all elections have consequences. Good morning, Miss Jackie. Good morning, Kimberly. Morning, Money G. But I told y'all, didn't I tell you elections have consequences? And they absolutely positively do. Hey, Sonia and Linda, that's why you got to be careful about who you vote for. People are saying they know quite a few international conventions that have moved their conventions out of the United States altogether. Why? Because why would they have an international convention in America when America is not allowed, they're not issuing visas for certain countries out of the fear that you might be detained and then deported to a country that you never went to. You know, so of course, tourism going to get hit hard. Tourism is going to get hit very hard. Very hard. But you know what I say? Good. It says, why do we still trust democracy? It's just corporates funding the person they want the most. Well, no, it's nothing wrong with democracy, right? When we tell you what it is, soldier, it's you, the voter. Take responsibility for the fact that it don't take much to trick you into voting against your own best interests. See, voters want to blame everybody else. Take ownership for the fact that it doesn't take much to trick y'all into voting against your own interests, and that you envy rich people so much, you'll make yourself poor in hopes to getting closer to being rich. Just be honest. Hey, Cassie B, good morning. So that's just the truth of it all. You said, Plato said democracy can easily be manipulated. Can you tell me anything else Plato said? See, this is how I catch y'all when y'all find stuff on the internet and y'all don't know nothing else about it. Tell me what else Plato said. Good morning, Miss Jackie. No, he talked about Christ and ain't telling me what he said. Tell me what he said, boo. I'll wait. I'll wait. It says soldier was most likely was in a large group that didn't vote. Could be, but I want him to tell us what else Plato said. See, that's how you expose the folks who really, they just saying anything. They saying what they saw on the internet. But there's no substance behind it. It's just designed to get you to be like, well, maybe democracy doesn't work that well. Democracy isn't the problem. Democracy isn't the problem, okay? That's not the issue. The issue is the voters. That's the issue. The voters. The voters are easily manipulated. They're easily manipulated. Like y'all didn't see the post because TikTok hid it. But they say, how do you know Trump was on the island? You have no proof. You had no proof that they were doing anything in that pizza shop that y'all believed before the election, but you believed that shit and it wasn't even true. You got proof this time. And you sitting here going, well, that can't be true. That can't be true. Rick, why are you telling me that you dreamed about a man last night and you're still thinking about him when you woke up this morning? I don't understand. Republican men, y'all built a little different. Y'all say y'all don't like gay folks, but y'all run around talking about the men that you dream about every night. And it's not even men. It's like one man that you dream about every night. And you got a whole wife. I'm confused. Why are you telling me? Tell your wife you're dreaming of another man every night. I don't care. I'm not married to you. That's your business. Hey, Lone Star. That's what it's just very weird to me to hear straight men cap for a man like that. Not a man on a sports team. Not none of that. Jeffrey, they're not even, but that's the thing, Jeffrey. They voting on feelings, but feelings for a man. All the while trying to vilify another community. They will vilify the LGBTQ plus IA community. Yet they're dreaming and in love with a man every fucking day. So I just don't understand. I just don't get it, you know? That's the part where I go, doesn't make any sense to me. It's not logical. Right, he's dreaming of a man in diapers at that. Thank you, Russ. Thank you, Russ. It's not like he's dreaming of The Rock. Idris Elba. You understand? Trump. Make it make sense. That's what I don't. You know what it is? It's envy. Imagine how bad your life got to be to envy that guy. You want to be Donald Trump. Imagine what your life is that that's who you want to be. I'm going to trade lives with that guy. What? Who's doing that? MAGA Stay Crash and Grinder, coming to a city near you. Coming to a city near you. But I love how Vegas is getting their left. Well, see, Vegas didn't vote for Trump. Vegas actually voted for Harris. But Nevada is getting their just due. Because Nevada needs the money. See, the places like Nevada, Florida, they all need that tourist money. I love that Canadians are like, oh, Krista, you say you love that I'm triggered every day, but you're here giving me views every day, beloved. Thank you for your love. Now it's 8:11. It's time for you to go fix breakfast, baby. You shouldn't be here with me. See, this is where I catch conservative women proving that they're not who they say they are. Y'all love y'all families. Y'all all about this, but you won't hear with me. It's 8:11. Somebody need breakfast somewhere. Hell, if you can hear my dryer behind me, I'm drying clothes. So I'm going, you mean to tell me there ain't nothing domestic to be done this morning? Stop it. Stop it. You need to be a better steward of your time and a better steward of your husband's money and hard work. You should not be here online with me this morning. See, this is when I expose y'all. This is how I expose y'all every time. It's either you on here and you're supposed to be working, or your husband's in your account signed in as you, which is another's problem. Because my husband don't sign in as me on TikTok. That's kind of different. That's a little different. You know what I mean? Good morning, Ashley. Yeah, I don't have the patience for that. You know what's funny, Mo guy? Nobody can even see your comment. You claim you didn't whine about it, yet you're here whining this morning. Get out of here. Get out of here. America's finest. America gets so upset at me for telling everything. Don't be mad at me for exposing it. That's all. I just expose the what do you say? The irony, the lies, the fakeness. You're not a conservative. I'm more of a conservative than conservatives are. Nancy was on Jake Tapper. She shouldn't have been. I can't stand Jake Tapper. Because it's funny to me, Jake Tapper could talk nothing but news about Joe Biden's age. But he don't say nothing about Trump at all. How can you not talk about those legs, feet, and ankles? That alone is enough for conversation. Because you know Trump has a major medical condition. Yet they don't talk about it. All of a sudden, Cat got Jake Tapper. Well, fluid got Jake Tapper's tongue. All that fluid that's on Trump's ankles, legs, and all that stuff, obviously is on Jake Tapper's tongue because now Jake Tapper can't talk about age all of a sudden. All of a sudden, it's irrelevant. No, it's even more relevant now because this guy is going to be the oldest living president. Not Joe Biden. This guy. This guy who clearly has medical issues. This guy who forgets what he said Monday and by the time Friday hits, claims he never said it. This guy who's mad at the Fed chair when he appointed him. Running around saying, who appointed this guy? You did, sir. Like what? What are we doing? Oh yeah, that, and look, and it's funny to watch conservatives be quiet about this $200 million ballroom that Trump is going to build in the White House. That's a good steward of your tax dollars. They cut funding. They cut the funding, got rid of the funding for child cancer research. But your country has enough money to build a brand new $200 million ugly ass ballroom in the White House. Grand Rising Solar Strength, thank you for joining me this morning. You understand? They got enough money to build that shit, but not enough money to donate to cancer research for children. Hey, Mimi, good morning. They got the money. I told y'all they don't care about you. They said, fuck your kids. This is rich people playing with your tax money. This is rich people playing with your tax money. Rich people are getting government contracts hand over fist right now with no oversight. No oversight. Because it was designed just to give more money to rich people. And to use your wallet to do it. To use your children's piggy bank to do it. That's what it is. Hey, Lois, good morning. That's what they did. The question is, what are you going to do about it? I know some of y'all don't know some of the stuff, but I'm saying it to you so you'll know. Something else that the government decided to do, the IRS wouldn't even audit the billionaire that kept sending money to Jeffrey Epstein. See, there's a money trail. But for whatever reason, the government wouldn't look at that. Ask yourself why. The IRS will look at you, though. If you made $2,500 that you didn't claim, your ass is getting audited. It's a trigger. It's a flag that hits. But when these rich people are paying all this money and moving all this money around, because there is a money trail, the government acts like, oh, I don't see nothing. I can't see that money. They see it. They don't care. They're too important to bother. Because see, when you start bothering rich people's money, it's a problem that happens. When they bother your money or my money, that's business as usual. That's business as usual. That's what that is. That's why y'all need to pay attention. These people not playing with y'all. They know exactly what they're doing. Exactly what they're doing. Now, I'm going to tell you about some other... Now, we're going to go into this other thing before we go to the Epstein prison thing, because I talked to y'all about this. If I need a better education, explain to me why you can't spell ma'am properly. There you go, beloved. I had to block you. You didn't even use the right grammatical way to spell that. No. Sorry, beloved. See, what you're not going to do is accuse me of not knowing, of needing more education and then not being able to dress me down without not being able to spell it correctly. I'm not going to let you do that. I'm just not. MAGA triangle, what? Listen, they love that homeschool. We're going to homeschool. You know what I say? Go right ahead. Go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you from homeschooling. Because when I listen to the parents talk, and I know the parents are the one doing the homeschooling, I already know what's going to happen with those children. I ain't even worried about it. It's a non-fucking factor, okay? This is why other countries are not worried, okay? When y'all say y'all going to pull your kids out of school and homeschool, China's not worried. India's not worried. Africa's not worried. The whole continent of Africa's not worried. Understand? No country in Africa's worried. Okay? Only in America do Americans think they get the best education in the world. Only in America do you think that. Now, people used to think that decades ago in other countries. They don't think that anymore because they know enough to know that that's not true. They know enough to know that that's not true. America has spent too much time destroying its own education system. So why would, yeah, Kevin, Africa. I know you laugh. China doesn't, because China understands Africa's power. I'll have to send you packing. That was mediocrity laughing. See, mediocre people laugh at the continent of Africa. Mediocre people don't even know it's a whole continent. Child, that's a whole nother discussion. The amount of times I've had to talk to the people online think that Africa is a country. And I'm like, you know Africa's a continent, right? With many, many, many countries. See, okay. But that's that American, education system. That's the excellence. That's that excellence at work, baby. Now, I want to tell y'all a little bit about something that I read last night into this morning. because I was digging this morning too. And I was like, okay, that's different. What's going on there? Okay, so the IRS had declined to audit this billionaire guy, right? And this guy actually has connections to Trump still till today, right? Still to today, this man has connections to Trump. What did I tell y'all? I believe in coincidences, but not when it comes to Washington, right? All right, so this is the situation. So this is the article. They did a congressional investigation into the assets of millionaire and financier Jeffrey Epstein. And what they found was that the IRS has known for years about a major funding source of Epstein's operation, but nothing was done about it. See, understand, I told y'all, many arms knew, right? So this is the thing. They say back in 2023, the IRS had not audited Epstein's the financial ties that people. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. So the tax commissioner was talking about how the IRS had not audited Epstein's financial ties for suspicious activity, even after a billionaire had admitted that his checks helped to keep Epstein's island up and running, right? This billionaire, his name is Leon Black, right? He also, he told, they say the reports from 4 banks that Epstein had accounts with should also have triggered an audit, but it didn't. For whatever reason, an audit was not triggered, even though they saw suspicious activity. 2 of the institutions were JP Morgan Chase and Deutsche Bank. Gotta love Deutsche Bank again, ignoring stuff, ignoring questionable behavior, right? Even settled Epstein-related lawsuits for hundreds of millions of dollars over their failure to act responsibly, although both admitted no wrongdoing. So both banks settled out of court, but admitted no wrongdoing, right? Even still, government regulatory bodies declined to investigate these banks. Why? Why? Doesn't make any sense, right? It's almost like they're working to protect rich and powerful people, right? I'm just saying when you look at it. Now, this is the other piece that I found interesting, right? Okay, now Leon Black has been friends with Donald Trump since 1996. Even before 96. But in 1996, Trump and Leon Black went to Russia together in 1996, right? And then Leon Black gave Epstein $170 million, a lot of it after Epstein had been exposed already. So they can't even say, oh, we gave him that money before then. No. A lot of this money came from this billionaire guy to Epstein after Epstein was exposed. Hey, Miss Thompson, good morning, beautiful. Then there was an incident at Epstein's New York City house involving someone with special needs. Then it happened again at a different Epstein's house in which Maxwell was involved. This Ghislaine Maxwell lady, that she orchestrated some stuff. Then what happens in January? Follow the links. Trump appoints Leon Black's son to his administration in January. So there's still relationships that Trump has with all these people. There are no coincidences, y'all. There are no coincidences. There are a lot of things that you're going to see in Washington, but coincidences are not one of them. They're not one of them. And guess what he was appointed to, the son? He was appointed to, hold on, I'm getting all these ads pop up. It kills me. He want his job, right? He wants to, at the time, his job was to lead the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation. They want him in charge of money. Follow it, right? All because this guy wrote a post on Substack outlining his ideas for sourcing money for the Foreign Development Agency. He's going to take it from USAID. That, of course, that Trump targeted to get rid of aid, of which he did. So Trump nominated Leon Black's son on January 31st to lead the multi-billion-dollar budget agency. This agency was formed during Trump's first term and is tasked with making investments into foreign countries. Look, hold up, let's make it make sense. So they're anti-immigrant, but at the same time, Trump wants to put money into foreign countries. Make it make sense. So he published a Substack on January 10th and co-authored it with a tech entrepreneur and Planter. Remember, Planter has a contract with the federal government to capture your data and link it to other things so they can create this master database. What I tell y'all ain't no coincidences. So Leon Black's son in this article, this essay that he published on Substack in January, he criticized USAID before the Trump administration slashed its workforce and budget, saying much of the humanitarian agency's $40 billion budget should be shifted to the International Development Finance Corporation, the very corporation now that Trump wants him to lead. Okay? That very agency that Trump wants him to lead. Y'all see, ain't no coincidences. Black also scrutinized the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation under President Joe Biden and argued the former administration committed agency funds to short-term virtue signaling projects, citing green energy projects it recently invested in. Then the last piece, Black suggested the Foreign Development Agency could invest in ports and mines in Greenland, which Trump has sought to purchase, saying American infrastructure, mining, and shipping companies could become involved in a partnership that increases American natural resources. So you see, it's all about money. It's all about money. It's just rich people putting their rich children, putting them in front of the president, and then the president giving their rich children, friends of his rich children, jobs. So they're paying you with their tax dollars. They're getting tax breaks, and you're paying more taxes than they're paying. See, it's all money. It's money and protecting things and protecting each other. Why does Trump still have a relationship with Leon Black? Why? Y'all see why I tell y'all there's no such thing as coincidences? You see why I tell you this? Because none of this stuff looks like a coincidence. Every single piece of it looks like deliberate stuff. And it looks like a cover-up so that we won't know how deep this hole goes. Hey, Nessa, good morning. And let me stop for a second. Good morning, because I've been going. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Have we made it? Okay? And just as a reminder to those who are paid members of Patreon, a new episode of the Straight No Chaser podcast dropped last night where I talked about how Hollywood was always political and how they used your TV shows and your movies to indoctrinate you without you even realizing it. It will be available for everybody tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Patreon, YouTube, Spotify. Check it out. Good morning to everybody and happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to you. I thank you all so much for joining me this morning. I told you I was going to be on earlier this morning because it's Friday, you know. I tried to be on earlier, but when I found this stuff about this Leon Black and then the connection between Leon Black and Trump, still till today, there are no coincidences. Pay attention. Pay attention. There are no coincidences. That's why the Trump administration is working so hard to try to cover up the connections. Hey, Trisha, love you too. That's why they're working so hard to cover up the connections. Now, I say that to say, remember I told y'all yesterday about the new questions that are raised about the Epstein jail video. After a full review of the video, because I looked at it yesterday, shows an orange shape that you can see Did y'all look at that video? Because you can tell it's not no fake shadow. You can tell by looking at it that it's a person. It's a person. So then my question becomes, Epstein was locked in his cell, locked in the cell. Everybody else that has cells in that wing were locked in too. They're in SHU. You don't get to come and go out of cells in the SHU without a corrections officer. My grandmother was a corrections officer. So I'm asking, who was this person in orange? Guards don't wear orange. So, one, who was this person in orange? How did they get into Epstein's cell? And remember this fact too. Remember this too. Epstein was found locked in his cell. So whoever it was, when they were done, they went out. Remember I told you I don't believe in coincidences. Epstein had a roommate. His roommate was removed. His cellmate was removed from that cell on the same day that this happened. How coincidental, right? There's no such thing as coincidences, y'all. There's no such thing as coincidences. You see, there's no such thing. Something about the shit don't make sense. The guards just so happen to not do their rounds every 30 minutes that night. Think about it. If the guards weren't doing their 30 minutes rounds that night, they weren't doing 30 minutes rounds other nights. It just so happens that night Epstein came up missing, you feel me? They didn't even say the guards slept, Miss Jackie. They just said the guards didn't do the checks every 30 minutes. But they signed the paperwork as if they did. Now, I'm going to tell you, they charged the guards with falsifying paperwork. But all charges were dropped against all prison officials. Nobody in the prison was ever held liable. Nobody. Nobody was fired. Nobody was placed on probation. You talking about guards that weren't following protocols? Huh. All of that stuff is just too coincidental, isn't it? Because there ain't no coincidences. Y'all understand? There's no coincidences. There's no coincidence. There's something else here. I'm just telling y'all, when I look at it and I piece together, if somebody showed this, if I saw it in a movie, right, I would go, well, those things kind of go together. If it was in a movie, it would go together, wouldn't it? So how come in my real life I'm supposed to act like that shit don't go together? See, I'm not willing to pretend that it doesn't go together. You understand? That's why I'm looking at it going, exactly, Kimberly. The math ain't mathing. It doesn't make any sense. This guy was a high-profile prisoner. And other people in that SHU, they're in the SHU for a reason. You mean to tell me not one guard was doing checks that night, which meant they had been doing the checks before that night? Nobody loses their job. Nobody gets suspended. Nobody gets fired. Nobody gets charged. Nothing? Huh. I told y'all I don't believe in coincidences. That's why I keep talking about it. Because this shit don't make sense. Now, this is what some of the article says. It says a mysterious orange shape seen on surveillance footage. When you go look at the video, you can see it. You can see it. It's not like you can't see it. They say a mysterious orange shape seen on surveillance footage near Jeffrey Epstein's cell before it happened caused forensic experts and Justice Department officials to clash over what or who it may be. You know it's not a guard, because guards don't wear orange. That's just really the big T for me. Guards don't wear orange. What the hell is going on? They said the Bureau of Prisons video obtained and reviewed, but CBS reviewed this video because CBS helped. And I don't trust nothing about CBS, but the Independent put this story out. The UK. That's why I'm reading it. Right? A shadowy figure moved towards his cell on August 9th at 10:40 p.m., just hours before he was found in his cell. Good morning, Wendy. Y'all want to believe? Y'all want to believe that he did that to himself? Okay. Okay. All right. Exactly. Release the files. It's no way he did that on his own. They're saying the orange blob is believed to be a correctional officer carrying linen or inmate clothing up the stairs. Y'all, that's not how that works. My grandmother worked at a prison. Ain't no corrections officer just bringing you clothes or blankets up the stairs and giving it to you in your cell. They think we dumb. That's not how that works at the prison. Exactly. At 10 something at night. You know what they would tell you? They would say, hey, punk ass criminal, take your ass to sleep. You can request that stuff tomorrow. You ain't gonna get it that night. Ain't no correctional officer going out of their way to go get you a blanket and uniforms in the middle of the damn night. Come on, man. Come on, y'all. They think we're dumb. They think we're dumb. This is literally people treating you like you are dumb. Because it makes no sense. And Kimberly, I know your brother ain't never seen nothing crazy like that as a CO. Because stuff like that don't happen as a CO. It don't happen. That would endanger the life of every other CO in there doing that type of raggedy shit in the middle of the night. Exactly. It was someone in Keys. Nah, they didn't even have a prisoner uniform. I'm telling you, it was a prisoner, Miss Jackie, because when you look at the video, it don't look like it's nobody carrying no uniform. It looked like somebody with a uniform, a prison uniform on. It don't look like no damn guard. That's why they're trying to say it's a guard with holding a prison uniform. It's like bullshit. That's an arm with somebody in a prison uniform. And it looks like they have on one of those white long john shirts on underneath it. But it don't sure as hell don't look like no damn a guard holding a prison uniform. Come on. In the shoe, in the middle of the night, a corrections officer is giving somebody a blanket and a uniform. Come on. Right. They got room service in prison. Come on. Come on. Come on. You've got to be kidding me. Because they're saying it could have easily been a person wearing an orange jumpsuit and not just carrying it. Exactly. Because it's not somebody carrying an orange jumpsuit. They saying that a retired sergeant for the New York City Police Department and a forensic video expert is saying based on the limited video, it's more likely it's a person in an orange uniform. But we all know corrections officers, I ain't never seen a ever in my life, not even in a fucking movie. I've never seen a corrections officer uniform in orange. Ever. The uniforms for prisoners are bright so they can recognize them instantly. The Smithsonian removed Trump from the impeachment exhibit. I'm not surprised. See, this, y'all got to remember the Smithsonian, listen, as long as you allow, and we're going to go into another conversation because I got to talk about, I know y'all asked me before about that Arkansas, that city, that whites only town in Arkansas that was started. I did like a lengthier video, a longer video than I usually do this morning on it. Because there were a couple of things I wanted to touch on that. Because I talked about it a little bit in the live before, but I'm like, chill. Listen, filing under shit black people don't care about. We don't care. We really don't care. And guess what else? Exceptional white people don't care either. Because they're not going to move to that town either. They're not going to move there either. Exceptional people don't move to that town. You know, but whatever. Now, the experts claim, because the DOJ says nobody else entered Epstein's cell, right? But the camera, see, remember they released that footage, but the experts say that the camera doesn't even cover the main entrance to the unit, so you can really see Epstein's door. You see? So even the footage the government gave you was just designed to distract you because they don't want you to really know what's happening. Hey, Rhonda, they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know. And that's just the truth. Hey, Sweet Pea, good morning, beautiful. They don't want you to know. Because if they wanted you to know, they wouldn't lie to you. They wouldn't lie to you. They're saying to say that there's no way that someone could get to the stairs up to his room without being seen is false. They lied to you. The footage they gave you was designed to shut you up, hoping this story would go away. But this story is not going away. It's not going away. Remember, because the story keeps changing. Yep, and this exactly, Amy. A lot of this happened during Trump's first term. And still happening in Trump's second term. One has to wonder why the story won't go away. Why? Because there's something here. Why is a guy that gave Jeffrey Epstein over $170 million, why has his son been appointed in the Trump cabinet? Why? Trump claimed years ago he and Epstein stopped being friends due to a property dispute. Fast forward to this week, he says, well, we stopped being friends because he stole not one but two employees from the Mar-a-Lago spa. I want to know why 15 or 16-year-old was working in the spa at Mar-a-Lago. Exactly, Wendy. I caught that clip about property. It just so happens the earlier interview, he never said what the property was. Wake up, y'all. I don't believe in coincidences. Right. But again, I go back to, why is a 15, 16-year-old working in the spa folding towels? I ain't never seen a 15-year-old, 16-year-old in the spa folding towels. Not even a family spa. At some point, folks got to get tired of being played with. Because it's just playing right in your damn face. Like, here's some shit. Shut up and just believe that. Yeah, that's true, Amy. You know why he did, Amy? Probably to get information. Sending messages from Trump to Epstein. Just like we have to ask, why does the Justice Department, why have they met with Ghislaine Maxwell not once but twice? And the second time after they met with Ghislaine Maxwell, magically she filed a case with the Supreme Court to throw out her case, her conviction. I told y'all I don't believe in coincidences. Maxwell could have been filed that case with the Supreme Court. How come the case didn't get filed until after she met with the Trump Justice Department twice? Why? Don't make sense, right? Doesn't make any logical sense. Hey, Wildflower, good morning. You know, I think I'm going to research on the internet if the rich spas hire kids to fold their towels. Because we know they can't do spa services. Think about it. A 15-year-old can't be a licensed masseuse. Good morning, G-Mac. Hey, E. Jones. A 15-year-old can't be a licensed masseuse, an esthetician. None of that shit. Only adults can do that. So explain to me what they were doing working in the Mar-a-Lago spa. I'm just asking questions that I think that the media should be asking. And they don't ask. The media is so damn smart, but they ain't asking. Because I'm going, listen, I know, well, I shouldn't be smarter than the people who so-called went to college for journalism, right? Right. I tell y'all, that's why I look at all of this and I go, it don't add up. I'm feeling like Mark Wahlberg in the movie Shooter. It don't add up. It don't. You know what I'm saying? When he was in the room trying to show how he got set up, I'm the same way. I'm very matter of fact. Oh, I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies. If that movie's on cable, I'm watching it every time. And when I say cable, I mean IPTV. TV. Y'all know I don't pay for no cable. But that movie's a classic. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. He was just like, I know I was set up. And I know you set me up because I know what this is. You understand? I know what this is. Understand there are a lot of rich and powerful people being protected by this. So if y'all waiting for rich people to turn on Trump, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. They got a lot that they need to protect too. In Iowa, a 15-year-old can clean the cut floor and meat platter. That's ridiculous. I wouldn't have my 15-year-old doing that shit. I'm just keeping it honest. I wouldn't have my 15-year-old doing that. In Florida, they wanted to do more child labor. They want child labor to replace the immigrant labor that they ran out of the state. But the initiative to allow children to work overnights during school week failed. But they're going to try again. Trust me, they're going to try again because they need the labor. Who they going to get to work? They need the labor. All the elderly people in Florida who voted for this shit ain't got the knees and the back and the stamina to do the work. This is why y'all need to stop listening to these fucking old people. Because y'all don't let them push your labor out of your state. No, you don't employ entry-level girls to fold towels in a spa. Get out. Get out. You got every flag up there, but you got all these other flags and American ones too. I'm America first. I don't allow that here. That's diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yeah, MAGA, listen, they in dark places. See, my question to MAGA is this. If you believe there's nothing wrong with young girls working in the spa, go let your child work in a spa. Go let your child work at a place where grown-ass men be at in just a robe. You go do that and let me know how comfortable you feel. Go back and watch and block, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I didn't see that one. Okay, thank you. I took care of it. Bye, beloved. I didn't see that one. Thank you so much, Ace Baby. I took care of that one. We don't do that in here. Not here. Go tell somebody who cares. Y'all know I don't care. And not only do I not care, I take pride and joy in telling you I don't. See, I told you, I'm not like the other liberals. I don't care to reach across the aisles. I don't care to compromise, to work together. You know, my mindset, man, fuck you. I don't care about all that other stuff. See, they so used to like these liberals. It's like, man, I don't want to seem like them. I don't give a fuck. No, I'm not a Gemini. I'm an Aquarius. The worst of the lot, honey. Okay? When no fucks given was like dished out according to astrological sign, Aquarius got it first, followed by Capricorns. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know. Yeah, I got it first. It's you know, I have to work really hard on certain things to give a fuck. You know, especially when it's nonsense. I have to really put real effort into caring. Like, ooh, let me look for the fucks that I had misplaced because I don't know where I put them. It's like that. Yeah. Someone told them they were tolerant. Yeah, so they think. Yeah. We're dealing with the shepherds for the... I can see that. But you know what's interesting? Trump is using religion. Like I told y'all the other day. Oh, Capricorn in the building. So you already know. Real quick. When we decide we give no fucks between Capricorns and Aquarius, no fucks are given. And when we say we done, we done. Like there's no rotation. Like we don't come back around. We're done. You know. But the thing with a lot of this stuff with that's happening, like y'all see Trump, the Trump administration, they had a memo go out this week that now you can do religious stuff in your federal job. You can try to recruit. Your manager can try to recruit you into their religion on the job, as long as you don't feel harassed. They don't define what harassment is, though, right? As long as you don't feel harassed, they can do that, right? But see, Trump not religious. But I'm going to tell you what Trump is. Trump understands religion is a way to control people. Trump understands religion keeps people obedient. He understands that. Trump understands religion helps to keep people in their place. Trump understands that. Good to see you too, real one. He understands that. So he uses it to his advantage. But he is not religious. He don't believe in no power outside of himself. Not at all. But you know what it did expose? All of those people who claim to be Christians, they're not religious either. They don't believe in God either. They don't believe in Christianity either. It is no way possible for you to say you love your God, for you to believe in Christianity, believe in the Bible, all those things, and lay your hand on Trump and say that man, that God sent him. No way. Because if God did send him, God sent him to test your faith and you failed. That's what happened. But they don't want to be honest. Paula White is a fucking fraud. She's a fraud. But we already knew that. But again, it's just verifying what we already knew. Right? So if Christians are still following Trump, it's just exposing that they're not real Christians. They're doing God's work by exposing themselves. So if you decide to go to their church and do any of that stuff, well, guess what? You don't love God either. Yep, just like Joel. Old Joel Osteen. All of them faking and fronting. Like now your church can preach from the pulpit and not, they can endorse political candidates now. Churches can, and not lose their tax exempt status. That's because the government has decided they're trying to push Christianity on everybody. I got a right to be free from religion, and I got a right to choose whatever religion I choose. I'm a Buddhist. I'm not even a Christian. But I can tell you, before I became a Buddhist, I went on a religious pilgrimage for over a year to figure out where I wanted to have my connection. I did. And let me tell you, when it comes to religion, one of the most confusing sects of religion or types of religion is Christianity. Oh, somebody was in here. Oh, let me see. Let me find. Oh, let me see. Oh, I see. Oh. No way you back Clinton and Trump, but you are a socialist. You were former military. Get the fuck out of here. I don't listen to nobody who claims to be a conservative and still gets a government check every month. Nope. Nope. Oh, they already gone. That MAGA man girl is already gone. If you tell me that you're a conservative and I look in your profile and you're former military, you are a socialist, especially if you getting them government checks every month and your ass ain't sending them back. If you going to the VA instead of paying for your own private insurance, shut up. You're a socialist. Not having it. I love the music. Oh, thank you so much. I had to choose something, see, Mandy, that was royalty free because you know they be trying with me, chill. I would love to open up with something a little more ratchet, but I can't afford those types of things. So I use that. I like that one though, because it's almost like I'm about to get in some business. So I like that music. Project Esther. Yeah, I looked up Project Esther yesterday. Let me tell y'all a little bit about that because people have mentioned that in here. And so so that y'all would know what this is, because see, Project 2025 is just the beginning, right? You're a veteran, right? But you're a veteran, but you ain't no MAGA good real one because you know better. But you're also a proud socialist. You understand? The other ones, they be faking. So let me tell you what Project Esther is, right? Project Esther is a policy initiative released again by the Heritage Foundation. It came out in October 2024. It's not a new thing, but understand, and it's called Esther because it's named after someone in the Bible. See, again, it all goes back to connecting it to religion. All back to religion, right? So they say critics argue it's supposed to be designed to combat a strategy to combat anti-Semitism. Now, I'm going to tell you what I find grand. Project Esther wants to combat anti-Semitism, but MAGA is anti-Semitic. Have y'all been catching it too? Because MAGA at the same time, like they like Israel because they love Jesus. But at the same time, they disconnect Jesus from Israel. Y'all get where I'm coming from? Because I've seen that. And I go, wait a minute. Hold up. But you don't, because they'll say, they'll make statements, right? Yeah, they have an obsession with George Soros. And the way they talk about him is anti-Semitic as fuck. So I'm going, MAGA and the GOP by and large are anti-Semitic. But okay, whatever. Let me keep going. With Project Esther, it's supposed to be a national strategy to combat anti-Semitism. They say critics argue it redefines anti-Semitism to include legitimate protest and criticism of Israeli government policy, labeling these people as a part of Hamas or other various groups. So basically, if you criticize Israel and they don't like it, they could label you as anti-Semitic. Basically what they do now for anything. It's basically the playbook of what Republicans did during Bush 2. If you criticize Bush 2 and what the federal government was doing in relation to Iraq and Afghanistan, you were labeled as unpatriotic, that you didn't love America, and basically it just gave America a license to do whatever they wanted. Y'all remember that time, because y'all remember how Dixie Chicks got dragged for speaking out against the war. The Dixie Chicks got dragged for that. So this is just another version of that. But now they're making this so you can only say what the government allows you to say. And remember, Republicans are the same people who claim it's Democrats that's stopping you from being free. That's why I keep telling people to pay attention. Yeah, see, Mandy, you remember. I remember. So when you piece together, when you connect all of the dots, this is what I'm asking y'all to do. That's why I do it, right? And you connect all the dots. Exactly, Kimberly. It's about censorship, redrawing lines, so you learn to start policing yourself. You'll learn to start policing yourself. See, first they police the social media platforms you're on, right? So by proxy, you learn to start speaking in a way that censors yourself. So then even when you're not on those platforms, you still speak in a censored tone. You know why? So you don't slip up when you get on the platform. Say it again, Smashley. They'll say no anti-Semitism, but then say racism doesn't exist. But let me tell you something. The people who say all of that are anti-Semitic and racist. That's the crazy thing. They just want to redefine what it is. That's all. That's all. They just want to redefine the definition of what those things are. But they are the very things they claim they are not. Oh, Trump not following the Constitution. Right. But see, this is what I need y'all to get, though, Russ. It's not just Trump. Trump's the distraction. Conservatives, Republicans, elected officials don't believe they have to follow the Constitution either. It's not just Trump. Trump's just the only one saying it out loud. I'm telling you, the entire Republican Party is a threat to the United States of America. That party don't like y'all. The party hates the country. They love money, and they will sell this country piece by piece to make money. That's it. I keep telling y'all Trump's the distraction. That's why Republicans love Trump. He's the perfect distraction. Hey, Block, good morning. Trump is the perfect distraction. That's why I tell y'all Trump is little hand magic. Y'all laugh, but I'm telling the truth. It's little hand magic. It's these little hands doing all this stuff and all this stuff to distract you. And you're so caught up in that, you don't look at Congress, and Congress is where the bad shit is really going down. They're creating laws. Trump is just writing EOs. EOs are not laws. That big, beautiful bullshit budget bill, that was laws passed. Laws. Breaking up your Department of Education, Congress doing that. Congress is helping do that. Congress is allowing government more control over your life, what decisions you make. Congress is allowing the government to make more choices about how you parent your own children. Your own children. While the same people say freedom. No. Freedom to do only the things they want you to do. Anything else you do that's not what they want you to do is a violation. Is a violation. Your own Congress passed a law to limit the power of federal judges. Y'all think that's not an accident? Congress said we're purposely turning a blind eye to what Trump is doing. We're letting him do it. And now we're going to stop the courts from doing national injunctions so they can't stop it either. Wake up. And if you're saying, hey, I'm a Christian like they're a Christian, no, you're not, because they're not a Christian. They're not Christians, beloved. They're nationalists. They're Christian nationalists, which is different. They love money and power more than they love God. And the God that they love is different than the God that's in that book. Their God hates the poor. Their God loves the rich. Their God loves money. Trump is a serial adulterer. They said God sent him. Pay attention. I guess that means y'all supposed to cheat on your wife too, because according to them, God sent Trump. Say it again, Marky. Yeah, they got to be the white Jesus from Iowa. It can't be that black Jesus from Good Times. Look, it can't be Ned the wino up there. I still remember that episode where JJ called himself painting that black Jesus, and that black Jesus looked like Ned the wino. That was the funniest shit ever. Those who know, know. That's why I said if I had no morals, no fucking character, I would have become a pastor. You know how much money you can make as a pastor tax-free? Why y'all think so many pimps become pastors? Because all you got to know how to do is talk to people. If you got the gift of gab, you can be a great fucking pastor. If you really know how to talk to people and you're a great orator, shit, you making money hand over fist. You can live a great life, tax-free. Tax-free. But see, I got character and morals, so that's not a person I could be. But if I didn't have them, shit, I'd be sitting right up there. Back then, they didn't want me, but now I'm hot. They all up on me. I'm going to say it again, congregation. Back then, they didn't want me, but now I'm hot. They all up on me. They see me rolling, and they hating, patrolling. They see me riding dirty. They tried to catch me riding dirty. Can I get a yay men? Listen, chill. It don't take much. It don't take much. You can get, followers are not hard. You understand? Listen. I would fill a church up with that. You heard me. Because that's how people are. People just want to feel special. They want to feel like they're in a place. They want to feel like they're fellowshipping. They want to feel like they're in a place where they belong. That's all. That's all. I bet you I could start a church where I could sit right there right now and say, you could say this to people and people would still give you money. And I would say, you come to this church every Sunday and you donate your money to this church. You ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, but you still gonna find yourself a rich person to give your money to. You know why? Because that's God. To you, that's God. That's how you pray to your God in hopes that he gonna give you prosperity. You give your prosperity to people who already have it. You know I ain't lying, so come on and give me that money so you can get prosperity. Bet you they give it to me anyway. Because that's how some people are. And if Jesus showed up right now, they would crucify him again. Why? He ain't got a gold ring on every finger. He ain't got a crown full of gold. He ain't got gold chains. He ain't got a gold robe. Ain't no way he can be Jesus. He broke. He broke. Make it make sense. That's why I say you got to read your own damn Bible. Oh, yeah, let's talk about that too. I saw that about Ford. Ford lost over $2 billion. Any profits that they made got wiped out by Trump's tariffs. And to that I say, Ford donated vehicles to Trump's inauguration. I don't give a shit. Fuck Ford. I hope they go out of business. Fuck them. That's what they voted for. Fuck them. I hope they go out of business and Honda, all the foreign car makers end up taking over all of their market share. Give a damn. I hope all the American manufacturers go out of business for cars. Hope them all do. Bye. That's what your ass get for pandering to rich people. Because we buy their damn cars. Rich people don't buy their cars. We buy their damn cars. Okay? And I'm going to tell y'all something too. And I got to say this to y'all because I'm still seeing people drive around out here with paper tags. If you don't need a car, why are you buying a car? All you doing is still continuing to feed that capitalistic system. Why are you buying a car? Hold up. Let me write this down. Hold on. I got it because I want to talk about this thing. Somebody asked a question. Why are you? Because I'm coming back to that. Buying a car. Okay. I have to address this. Somebody said, I believe in God, but not the Bible. I'm going to tell you something that I thought that my teacher, this is where I say education is important. I remember we had a humanities teacher when I was in high school, Dr. Todd. And she used to bring in special guests to speak to us because she would sometimes teach things off of the curriculum, because her thing was the curriculum don't tell you the whole story, and I need you to see the whole story. And I remember one time we had this discussion about religion, and she said, I'm not going here to tell you what to believe, because my job is not to tell you what you believe. That's your own job. You got to figure that out for yourself, right? She said, because your salvation is your own salvation. She said, but let me explain to you about people in God. Some people believe because they really believe. Some people believe as an insurance policy, because just in case when they die, there is a God, they'd rather be safe than sorry, right? Good morning, Lori. Hey, beautiful, right? Some people don't believe at all because they don't have no proof, right? She say, I'll just tell you this. I can't tell you what to believe in, because somebody said, well, what about the Bible? I'll never forget this conversation. She said, think about it like this. What if you were tasked, you're a human being, and you're tasked to translate the Bible, and it's seen as one of the most important books for man and humanity, right? Follow my logic here. Follow the logic of the teacher. She said, and it's in this special language, right? And you get to certain words you don't understand. What you think they gonna do? Tell people they don't know what that is? Or you think because they understand some of the other words, they'll just fill in the holes, make assumptions. Say, I think he meant this. I think it was that, right? Follow the logic here. Because what you ain't going to do is say, well, I can't do it, especially if I done sold wolf tickets saying I can do it. You just going to make assumptions. Well, that looks like that makes sense. I'll put that here, and I'll do that. I always say God is God, Bible is man. Bible is man. That's man's interpretation of God. But that ain't God. That's what I say. Now, but I'm also a Buddhist. So you ain't got to listen to me. I'm just telling you that I say the Bible is man, God is God. Those are two different things. They're not the same thing. You don't believe me? Explain why you have a King James version. You got your Old Testament, your New Testament. That's man. That's not God. That's not God. You shouldn't have to read a book to tell you what bad is. You can feel what's bad. You know what's bad. You know. The book was designed, because the book is a set of rules. The book is a set of rules to govern over man. To keep it, and to keep people who are poor obedient. Subservient to rich folk. Because you're going to get your prosperity and all your riches when you die. Say it again, amen or a woman. Say it again. Now, to be honest, amen means so let it be. Because when I used to go to the Buddhist temple, sometimes we would say amen. And they would explain why. They would say amen, so let it be. So if you hear somebody say amen, it ain't always what you think it is. I'm just saying to you, there's a lot of control that comes with religion. Religion keeps people obedient. Religion keeps people from pushing back. For some people, all you have to tell them is that's how God wanted it. And even if they don't like it, that is enough for them not to push back. Well, my God said that that's what he wanted, so I'm not going to touch it. I don't know. How many times have you heard people say, well, I don't understand why God would do that, but I don't question him. Why wouldn't your God want you to ask questions? Why? You're his child, aren't you? How would you look at your own parents if they say, don't question me, just do as I say, not as I do? You know how you received that as a child. You didn't receive that as somebody that was teaching you anything, that was it. You felt like they was hiding something, right? Because you couldn't ask questions. That's why I say be mindful about church. God is a loving God. Man is not. I'm going to say it again. God is a loving God. Man is not. Man likes hierarchy. God don't need hierarchy. God doesn't need hierarchy. Man does. You see where I'm coming from? Listen, people have been getting indoctrinated since the beginning of time. And when they figured out they couldn't indoctrinate you with religion, then they switched to media. The radio, the TV, the internet. They're going to do whatever they got to do to indoctrinate you. See, religion don't have a hold on people in the way that it used to many, many decades ago. A lot more people are really not religious now. And it's mostly because they see that most people, they live one way, but they say something else. The hypocrisy of it all. So if you can't even live according to the word that you claim that you love, why are you asking me to? That's what the people say. Because people who really, like you can feel God in them, they're usually not super religious people. Think about it. They're usually not super religious people, but you still see God in them. Oh, and Angelina, you say how many people fall? I know have broken some of them, but guess what? Listen, even if you don't believe certain things in the Bible, even in the Bible, God says, I know you're going to sin. It's man that holds that sin over your head. It's not your God. But y'all in such dark spaces that you let man, your pastor, some of your pastors, trick you into thinking his fucking judgment matters. Fuck what you think, pastor. I don't give a shit about what you think about me. I don't give a damn about what you think about me. Your judgment ain't important to me. It's not going to get me in heaven nor hell if that's what I believe. But I can't tell by watching some of y'all. Y'all act like pastor is like security at the door. He the bouncer at the gates of heaven. Now I'm going to tell you a whole lot of things, but I'm going to tell you something your pastor is not. He don't get to determine who gets in and who goes. I'm going to tell you that's something your pastor don't have no say in. None. None. And see, if you don't want to believe that the Bible is man-made, I'm going to tell you why. This is me. This is me. These are the thoughts I used to have just sitting. Because I'm a random thought-ass person, right? These are the thoughts that I used to have, right? From people watching, from reading, talking to people, all these things. Now, y'all tell me if y'all see where I'm going here. They say God is omnipresent, right? God is everywhere. Everywhere. And God created everything. He created the heaven, the moon, the stars, hell, everything. God created everything. Okay? So you telling me God created everything. He even created people that live in remote regions of the earth that have never heard of the internet, never seen a television. You understand what I'm saying? Never seen indoor plumbing. Don't know nothing about what that's like. These are isolated peoples. They've never heard of a Bible. They've never heard of Jesus. You mean to tell me God created that, but he created those people to damn them to hell? That's why I say the Bible is man. That's not God. God comes in many forms. That's why they're different religions, because they're different pathways to God. You mean to tell me your God is so great? Our God is so great. He created the heaven, hell, the cosmos, the galaxies, all that shit. But he said, I'm going to create all this different stuff. However, when it comes to people, there's only one pathway to me. Does that make sense? That don't make no sense, do it? He's great, but he wasn't great enough to figure that out. Man, get out of here. That's why I don't listen to that shit. That's why I don't listen to it. Like I am Buddhist, right? My husband's a Christian, right? Before we got married, I remember we were doing marriage counseling because we got married at my husband's church. My husband wanted to get married at his church. Okay, fine, whatever. So we got married at the church. But in order to get married at the church, you had to do counseling, premarital counseling with the pastor. So we did. And one of the subjects that came up was the fact that I was Buddhist. My husband said, well, my future wife is Buddhist. Like, how are we supposed to deal with that? Because they say that you're supposed to be equally yoked. You know what the pastor said? And I never forgot this from this pastor. This is one of the few handful of pastors that I could say. He bout it. I could see God in that man because he don't play the games. He looked at my husband. He said, she believes in higher power. She believes that she's traveling her journey, her spiritual journey, her pathway is her journey. He said, question, you can't get into heaven nor hell for her. You can't do a journey for her. What does her salvation have to do with yours? She is equally yoked. This is a spiritual woman. This is a woman that believes in a higher power. I do believe in that. Whether you call it the universe, whether you call it God, whatever you choose to call it. But he was like, that's not what that means. What you may think it means, sir. She doesn't have to do it exactly the way you do it. She's not a child. She's not a machine. You don't own her. She's her own person. Listen. Say it again, Cassie. God will show you what's needed for you and your journey. And everybody has their own journey. The Lotus Sutra is one of those religious works that Buddhists read. In the beginning of that preamble of that book, it is a talk of talking. It speaks of Jesus. And how different religions have what one would call, I don't want to call it a deity, but someone that they believe in. It wasn't taking away. I know you're joking, nerd alert. Take a look, because you'd be single. Because I don't know your wifey, but I know your wifey ain't having it. I know your temperament, so I know you wouldn't deal with somebody that would just let you do whatever. I just know that. Yep, it's about having faith, truth, kindness, and love. Let me tell you something. If you want to know if somebody is religious, see how they move. If they're hateful, that's not God. God is not hate. God is love. God is understanding. That's what God is. That's why I tell y'all, and I always say, if you've never seen the movie Stigmata, watch that damn movie. To me, what I loved about Stigmata was it kind of pulled the veil off of people understanding. People thinking because you go to church, you a Christian. Nuh-uh. It pulled the veil off of that. Because that was during that time when, remember, some archaeologists had found the Dead Sea Scrolls. And I remember I went to the museum to go see those. That was pretty cool. And it was all this hoopla, right? Because if your God tells you you don't need church to worship me, what y'all think that would do to the church? What do you think he would do to the church with books uncovered, with God saying, you don't need to worship me. You can worship me, but you don't need a church. You fellowship with me wherever I am, wherever you are. Fellowshipping with me and praising me is wherever you are. That's what I loved about Stigmata. That whole story about a disciple coming back into this woman to preach the word of Jesus, with God, sending the words through his son, saying, you don't need the church to praise and worship me. You don't need that. I am wherever you are. And the lengths that the church was going through to silence that woman. Hey, storyteller. Good morning, beautiful. I got on early this morning because it's Friday. But the lengths that the church went through to try to silence this woman, because again, it was money, power, influence. And they were not willing to lose that. That's why I tell you, if you are a Christian, read your Bible. Like, I remember when my mother was alive, my mother was a Christian. And my mother, she read the New Testament. She didn't use the Old Testament. And some Christians are different. Some only follow the Old Testament. They don't follow the New Testament. That's why I said, when they talk about America wanting to have this fight about pushing Christianity forward, I go, well, that's going to be a big fight because Christians don't even agree on Christianity. They don't even agree on it. You know how many wars have been fought over that? But whatever. Okay, fine. Right? So I said, my mom, why do you read the New Testament? You don't read the Old Testament. Why you don't read the Old Testament? She said, well, because God sent his only begotten son. And when Jesus died for our sins, well, why would I keep reading the Old Testament? And I was like, whoa, now I'm really confused. You understand? Because you got this sect over here. You understand? Then I would have conversations with people. I said with people, and I would say, what sect of Christianity do you believe in or not believe in? They would say, well, I don't believe in being a Catholic. And I would say, well, why you don't believe in being a Catholic? Because they believe in purgatory. I don't believe in that. Huh? Oh, it wasn't even purgatory. They praise Mary. I don't praise Mary. The only thing I praise is God. She just a woman. She ain't nobody. And I was like, huh? Now I'm even more confused. Because God could have chose any woman to be the mother of his son, but he didn't choose any woman. He chose that woman. How you going to skip over that and act like that don't matter? But then you praise these disciples, these men. You go on and on and on about these men that was walking and doing all, but the mother, you say, oh, it ain't that big of a deal. She just a woman. No. She's the bringer of life, apparently, of your Savior. And you don't show her no respect or adoration at all. That was always weird to me too. That didn't make sense to me. So that's why I say, when you look at all this stuff, religion is a means of control. I'm not saying you can't have a relationship with God, but having a relationship with God is different than religion. Those are not the same beasts, because governments have historically always used religion to control people. So if you don't have your own relationship with God, you're going to always be controlled with your religion by your government. You're going to think you're religious, but you're not. You're just a shield for your government, and they're using religion to do it. And on top of that, using your religion to keep you poor. You sitting up here still donating to the building fund. They've been taking money in for the building fund for 30 years. Ain't even built a damn outhouse. Chill. Chill. Y'all better quit doing that shit. Now, I wanted to go back to something. I wrote this note down here so I wouldn't forget it. Thank you all so much for first of all, thank you for the likes this morning. We're at 86,000 likes. Thank you so much for the likes this morning. Thank you for the shares this morning. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the gifts and everything. But I want to, I always tell you, I thank you for the time you spend with me. Remember, I tell you, your time is your most precious commodity. Once you spend it, you can't get back. I tell you that so that when you're just navigating your life, stop wasting your time on people who don't deserve it. Because you can't get the time back. And y'all sit up there and invest time in people for nothing. It's like, stop it. Say it again, 10 years and still no building. Chill. But pastor got 4-bedroom house, 3.5 baths, and a 3-car garage. Better wake up. Better wake up. Now, I'm going to take Trump off the back of here because I want to talk about a couple of other things as I wrap up this morning. So I'm going to take the background off. So good morning, y'all. Good morning. Look, that's without all that stuff back there. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things. First of all, can we talk about Shannon Sharpe for a second? Can we please talk about Shannon Sharpe for a second? Can we talk about Shannon? The fuck Unc. Like, I'm calling him Unc, and he ain't that much older than me. He ain't that much older than me. But I'm sitting here going, can I ask a question? Because I know it's some men here in the live. Can I ask a question? Because I already know how women are going to answer this. Right? You mean to tell me spending time with a woman can be so awesome that you'll risk your entire livelihood for it, like how you make your money? Because I'm going, Miss Girl must have had the ill nana. Talk about a snapper. You understand? Talk about soul snatcher. Had Shannon like, look, here, this is Richie. I ain't never coming home no more. See ya. Like, what are we doing, gentlemen? I'm like, yo, that's what I said. No money was worth it. No, nothing. Listen. I'm going, come on. I look at it and I just go, I can understand, I guess, I don't know, I'm not a man, but I guess I can understand the desire to feel younger, right? But, no, I'm not even going to slow walk it. What the fuck, Shannon, man? What was you thinking? You messed up he literally messed up all his money. Like, I'm just looking going, wow. Yeah, Tracy, I look at it as like lack of control. You know what I'm saying? My thing is this. Shannon had enough money where that isn't the option he had to choose. I guess that's my thing with it. He could have paid professionals. You understand? That would have given him the girlfriend experience and been discreet if he was that pressed just to be out there. You understand? But no, she wasn't a professional. No. See, that's the other thing that I need to make clear to these old guys. OnlyFans OF is not professional folk. No. See, I'm old school. I'm 50. Yep, and it would have been cheaper. Real professionals? Nope. A real professional? No, that never would have happened. I'm telling you, it never would have happened with a real professional. Never. You're going to have to, I'm doing something right now. Good morning. Okay, yeah. Look, that chick's in here. Try to come back. 2 bad meals. No. What they say? Not happening. Get out of here. Right. That was a youngster who had figured out how to get money online. You understand? But she's not a professional. A professional is not going to mess up where the money's coming from. Because a professional understands you're also paying for discretion. That's why I said she was not a professional. That's why I said, OGs, y'all gonna learn. Okay? Y'all are gonna learn. That's why I say to some of the OGs when they would be online talking so much stuff about older women, listen, I'm a 50-year-old woman. I know about aging. Ain't nothing wrong with aging. Aging is fine. Aging is not the issue. The issue is people who don't want to accept aging. That's the issue. There's nothing wrong with aging. Aging is a blessing, frankly. I'd rather die old than die young. Yeah, I guess he wanted to feel relevant. But who wants to feel relevant from somebody who says, so what did you used to do again? There ain't no relevancy. She doesn't even know who you are. She wasn't even born when you were playing football. Where's the flex? Where is the flex? You know what I'm saying? And just like I said in the video this morning, as to say to the OGs, stop chasing these young girls, man. These young girls don't want y'all. They want your money. You don't have nothing else to provide these young girls. And I know you may think, oh, I'm experienced. I'm a man of a certain age. I'm experienced. Listen, she wants to Netflix and chill with a young guy. Why? That young guy can Netflix and chill multiple times a night. Do you understand? Do you understand? This young guy doesn't have to stop at any local gas station. Do you understand? This young guy can pick her up and not throw out his back. Do you understand? It's not the same thing. Now, maybe he can't buy her a house or a car, but quiet as kept pawpaw. You're not either. So at this point, you're running out of time too. Okay? All right? She doesn't want to have to monitor your pressure. And she doesn't want to have to wait until your little gas station goodie kicked in. Okay? Leave these young girls alone. Because after y'all meet up, all they doing is calling their young girlfriends and like, girl, this is her. This is what happens after y'all meet up, right? And after you gave her that little bit of money. Right? She called her friend, girl. You know, guess who just stopped by here, girl? Who? Mr. Tom. What you want, girl? Came over here to give me a little bit of money. Girl, and that's all he gave. You let him do something? Girl, no. Ain't nobody have time for that pill to kick in, girl. I told him I had some bills to pay and told him I would see him later. Girl, I'm going to hang out with Kevon tonight, girl. He worked over at the plant, girl, and after a 13-hour shift, honey, he be ready. But what about Mr. Tom, girl? Girl, ain't nobody checking for him. I used him to pay the rent for this month, and I'm going to take Kevon to dinner, and we're going to have a good time. That's what that young girl's saying. Okay? That's what the young girl's saying about you. Leave them young girls alone. Leave those young girls alone. One of the things I always tell my daughter, when them old dudes is chasing you, you know why they chasing? Because they can't keep up with women their age. That's why. Because women their age, they already know the game. They already know what it look like. And they looking for somebody that they can either take advantage of. So that's why they chasing the young ones. And the young girls tend to not have as much money as the older guys. The older guys can't be as impressive with older women with their wallet because the older women is like, well, shit, I got what you got. Impress me with something I don't have. Give me something I can't give myself because I can give myself peace of mind, house, car, vacations, jewelry. What else you got, sir? He can't even say he can do the other thing because guess what? Gotta wait for that rhino to kick in. So that's the first thing. So that's one of the topics I want to talk about. Shannon. Bruh, grow up. But you're right. He was told multiple times. He was told multiple times on his own show. That's the wow. And he just just laughing and giggling like a fool. Laughing, and me and my husband were cracking up laughing the other day. I said, honestly, you know what really messed him up? The audio. The audio is what got it. Man, you can't be no big ass 6'3" ass looking ass black man talking like that on no damn audio with no little woman, no little white woman talking like that. That's what got him. It was that audio. If it wasn't no audio, you know what I'm saying? It's just this word again. The audio, it was a done deal. It's like, hold up, aren't they talking like that? Oh, he was done. He was done. But they didn't set him up, V Secret. That's the thing. He set himself up. This is the oldest thing. This is as old as time. Men setting themselves up. He set himself up. She didn't do it to him. He did that to him. Remember in Boomerang? When Robin Givens was talking to Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy said, why did you do this to me? She said, do it to you. I didn't do this to you. You did this to you. She didn't do nothing to Eddie. Everything he did to himself. She was very clear about what type of woman she was. He just didn't believe that the fat meat was greasy. That's all. He didn't believe fat meat was greasy. He thought he could change her. What it was, he thought he could knock the bottom out that thing. Negative. If anything, she changed him. Bruh fell in love. He risked it all. He lost his job. Bruh lost his job. My favorite. Unbelievable. Listen. He literally lost his job for it. Right. Now, sis retired. Honestly, you know what she showed? Again, you want to level up, young lady? Find a rich, stupid man. That's how you level up instantaneously. Find a rich, stupid man. Kobe did the same thing. Shannon. If you want to destroy a nation, you just send a woman. Y'all think, see, this is why I say having a woman president is more safe. You got more safety in your country with a woman's president. Because I'm going to tell you right now, just some arbitrary dude trying to flirt with the first, with like if a woman was a president, she's instantly dismissive of that shit. Because women, we don't respond in the way that y'all respond to that shit. Why? Because women flirt with women, women flirt with men flirt with women all the time. But that isn't the case for men. See, men, when women start flirting with y'all like, me? Y'all mosey on over there and shit. You know our reaction when women see some strange guy, we're like, no, please. If anything, we're begging, please no, stop. Act like we'll deliberately try to go out the house as ugly as possible to avoid detection. And there's still always one. Hey girl, you want me to buy you some groceries for your refrigerator? No, Papa, no. Jesus. That's why it's always better for us. Because we not responding to that in the way y'all respond to that. We just don't. If anything, it's like, God, here you come again. You know how many times we've been to the club? And you know at the club, if you don't want to be bothered with a man, you just don't do no eye contact. Every woman knows that. Or if you do eye contact, like you catch eye contact with a man, this is what you do. Or you go like this. But you ain't gonna keep looking. You ain't gonna keep looking. Because if you keep looking, that man gonna come over there. If you keep looking, that man is coming over there. For sure. So you try to have like a funky looking, you know what I'm saying? You try to be like this. You try to have that look, like don't talk to me look. That's the look you try to give. Hold on, I heard something outside. When my family going somewhere without me, good. They probably going to get food. I don't want nothing they offering. Every time these people in this house offer me a meal, it never ends well. Go on head to the store. I don't care. Bye. I don't want nothing they want. Yeah, but when women, we know. When we in a club, we catch a guy catching eye contact. If that's not something we're interested in, the eye contact is instantly severed because we know if you give a man too much eye contact, a man sees that as flirting. If you touch a man too many times that you're not interested in, it don't matter. He sees that as flirting. Because otherwise, bitch, why do you keep touching me? Listen, why do you keep putting those nice, soft, tender hands on me if you're not interested in me, lady? That's why I be telling y'all women, don't play with men like that. See, I don't play with men like that. I understand how to interact with men so that they understand one thing versus the other. You understand? But when you doing this, oh, and every time you laugh, oh, you throw that little elbow up, oh, that's flirting. You know what you're doing. That shit is flirting. You know exactly what you're doing, and the men know what you're doing too. And you keep on doing it, you're gonna mess around. Your kneecaps gonna end up being your earrings. Stop playing with them. Men are not dumb, but they'll play dumb with you. You gonna sit there and play dumb? They'll be like, I play dumb with you, girl, because you keep on playing with me. I'm gonna have you back up in here. They're laughing, Kiki. They're laughing, Kiki, but it ain't to be your damn friend. They are the original hashtag no new friends. Like what? Men be looking like, bitch, I don't need no friend. I got sisters, aunties, mamas. I don't need no female friends. Like what? And quiet is kept. If a man even did bring a woman around his female family members and say she's just a friend, them female family members are checking her out. And then at some point, they're going to have a conversation with the guy and their family like, yo, what you doing with this woman? Oh, no, she just my friend. And you know what they're going to say? Because I know what I would say. I got brothers. For what? Why you her friend? Since when you start looking for women to be friends with? That's what I would say to my brothers. Because I know my brothers don't have female friends. Not female friends that they're not intimate with. What? Now, listen. I do have male friends. But they're not the type of male friends that I'm on the phone with every day. Nah, I talk to them occasionally. But it ain't the type, it's not like that. The ones that I'm talking to all the time, they have boyfriends. Like what? Because I don't want no issue with no man's woman with me showing up. Who that? I'm going to have lunch with my girlfriend. And I already know. Their wife and girlfriend, no the fuck you're not. You're not going with her. And again, not that men and women can't be friends, but it's all on how those friendships are created. I don't cross the streams in my male friendships. We don't joke about shit that's inappropriate. None of that shit. Because ain't gonna never be no misunderstandings. Ever. There are never any misunderstandings. If anything, the male friends that I know, the ones that some of them, not all of them, but especially the deplorable ones that I know, I'll tell them outright, you a deplorable ass dude. I don't know how these women deal with you. See, I'm gonna say it. It couldn't be me. Only reason why I talk to you is because you're a friend, and I know how deplorable you are. Otherwise, I'd have no reason to speak to you, sir. So, you know. So, ladies, stop doing that shit. Just stop. When I see women with that, he was just my friend. I don't understand what. Stop. And see, I'm going to tell you another little secret, too, in case you ain't. See, look at Nikki. My male friend became my husband because he was never your friend. He was just playing his position, beloved. Playing his position. Letting you date, do all that other stuff. And then one time when somebody breaks your heart, you going to come to him crying. And next thing you know, got him. They just play their position. They'll always play their position. Okay? Because then you'll have men around you that'll be in your friend zone. But they're in the friend zone because you put them there. Not because they want... They don't seek you out and go, okay, now I'll just be her friend. No, you made them a friend. But understand, if at any moment you're going to allow that friend, that status of that to change, he going to be like, hey, friend. Okay? I'm just telling you the truth. And I'm not saying this as a disparagement to men because it's not. I'm just telling you that if you allow the status of the friendship to change, the guy will let it change. He's like, all right, shit, well, you gonna let me be your boo now? Fuck, I'll be your boo. I was waiting anyway. I'm just telling you. I'm not lying. I am telling you. See, I'm married. So my friends by proxy they in friend zone. But they was already in friend zone before then. They were not like prospects for me. I didn't see them in that way. Because I'm telling you as a woman, if I'm attracted to that, you as a man, I don't want to be your fucking friend either. Like, the fuck? Are you kidding me? Why would I want to be your friend? I would never be Idris Elba's friend. You understand? If Idris Elba came to me, listen, love, I'd love to be your friend. You seem like such a great, great person to talk to. Can we be friends? Absolutely, unequivocally not. Fuck, I look like trying to be your friend. Why would I want to look at you? Why would I want to look in those beautiful brown eyes every time I talk to you? That's fucking stupid. No, I don't want to be your friend. Fuck out of here. So any guy friend that I do have, I ain't attracted to him. That's why he's a friend. Duh. See, I'm one of the few that are going to be honest. A lot of other people ain't honest. I am going to be honest. Okay? If you're a good looking guy, I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to be your friend. Hashtag no new friends. Why would I want to do that? No. Soon as Tom starts growing into his looks, bye Tom, we can't be friends anymore. I am not going to keep looking at that shit and watching you be booed up and fall in love. No, I'm good. I'm good. Exactly. It's fucking torture. No, I'm good. I don't want to be his friend. Good morning, Hope Floats. Yeah, that was the Drake reference. See, Drake is one of the dudes I'm kind of talking about. Drake is one of them actual kind of fucking dudes. He's the guy that's going to try to act like he's your friend and that he's all sensitive and shit. He's that guy, but he really wants you, but he's not going to be too forward. You understand? So he's going to just slide in and try to be your friend. And then as you're dating and you're out there and your heart gets broken, man, come on over, man. Let's just hang out. Man, fuck him, man. Let's just come on over. Let's hang out and watch a little TV. Right. You ain't going to never finish that movie, beloved. Never finish that movie. Yeah, men don't really like, exactly. It's because men are conquerors. It's just the nature of men. right? The nature of men is to conquer what and to obtain and take what they like. But guess what? Patricia's right. Women are conquerors too. See, that's the part nobody talks about. People don't talk about that shit. Women are conquerors too, beloved. If women see a man that they have decided that they want, or they're chasing that, they gonna pursue that too. Now, we don't pursue in the traditional sense in the way that men pursue, but we know how to put out bait. And where the lie at? Ain't no lie. Y'all see, those who know, you know I'm not lying. You know I ain't lying. That's why I'm going, nah. I don't have no desire. Now, I will have girlfriends that are gorgeous because I don't want them. I don't care. You can be as beautiful as you want. I don't want you, girl. Fuck it up, sis. You're gorgeous. I love being around gorgeous women. Gorgeous women make me feel pretty. So I love that shit. But cute and gorgeous men, man, get the fuck out of here. Beat it. Nobody wants you. Get out of here. Nobody wants you over here. Yeah, I can believe that some of the mid-20s and early 30s can be the most challenging. But I'm going to tell you another segment of challenging dating because I have friends in this group. It's my friends in their 50s say it's challenging in that group too. And it's challenging for both sides, for women and for men. But it's challenging in that group too, because you got people in your 40s and 50s who trying to act like in their 20s and 30s. Your knees are not. Stop it. Grow up. Ain't nothing like a grown and sexy person. I don't know why some grown and sexy people don't want to be grown and sexy. That don't make sense to me. There is nothing like grown and fucking sexy. That shit is unrivaled, unmatched. I don't get it. Why would you want to be anything else but that? Yeah, you're right. Some of them in their 70s too. I don't get it. I'm not I don't have any desire to pretend to be anything but what I am. Man, say it again. Sean Connery had swag. Yeah, you know why the older you get, the less competitive you get, because you realize no one brings to the market or the table what you do. We're all unique. Dating is hard, but it's even harder when people aren't authentic and real. People got to learn to be real. But you know why people struggle being real in dating? In my humble opinion, from looking on the outside in, from seeing it, people struggle with dating because people aren't authentic and real with themselves. How am I gonna be real with you when I'm lying to me already? I'm already lying to myself about who I am. I can't be authentic with you, baby. I'm not authentic with myself. That's a big part of it. People aren't honest with themselves. I can't be for you what I can't be for me. I just can't. It's impossible to be. Hey, good morning, beautiful Sinopa. It is impossible for me to be for you what I can't even be for myself. That's why for a lot of people dating, they can't date. They're toxic. They're toxic. Quiet as kept, you shouldn't even be dating if you ain't got your shit together. And I ain't just talking about finances. I'm talking about mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. You shouldn't date. Period. You shouldn't date. But the 30s are super complicated because some are still figuring out while others are already settled down. That's true. It can be complicated. But to understand, a lot of people settling down are settling. You said it. They're settling. They're not happy. I said what I said. A lot of people just don't want to be lonely. They don't want to be lonely. So they're settling. But they're not settling down. They're settling. That's why they're still in the streets. Catch it. I said what I said. You just don't date because I don't want to make time for it. That makes sense, Hope Floats. But this is also why we have a decline in birth rates, because the dating pool, it ain't all that great. on both sides. It ain't all that great. It's not all that great, but it's not all that great for a multitude of reasons. But one of the biggest reasons is people aren't spending enough time developing who they are as a person. You know what I'm saying? You got to spend time with yourself and figure out who you are as a person. Stop looking for people to define you. You got to define you. Go explore the world. Why can't you just date and hang out and have fun? Say it again, Hope Flows. People shit in that dating pool all the time. That water is so dirty. But you know, Eugene, people a lot of times in dating, they focus on money because they don't have nothing else. They need money to distract you from the fact that they lack personality. They lack character. They lack morals. See, that's why so many people want to talk money. When it comes to dating, they don't have nothing else. They don't have nothing else. They don't have no conversation. See, this is what I know about me, right? I'm one of those people, I consider myself to be a pretty fucking cool person. And it has nothing to do with looks. It's because I know how to have a good time with me. So if anybody else comes into my sphere, I look at it like, oh, I'm bringing you along for the ride. You about to have fun too. Because shit, I have a great fucking time with me. I can't speak for anybody else, but me, shit, I have a great time with me. I don't need to hang out with people to have a great fucking time. Some people, though, do. Some people do. They are defined by other people. Folks need to take more time to explore and figure out who they are. Because when you know who you are and you're able to have a great fucking time with yourself, the connection when you meet people, right? Then you get to pick and choose who you allow to come into your world. And you get to pick and choose who else's world you want to go explore. People don't think like that no more. Anybody say hi, they like, oh, let me go run. Run over there. They said hi. No. Everybody that they say hi to you ain't worth speaking to. Stop doing that shit. You got to change your mindset on how you see yourself. That's the only thing I'm trying to get y'all to see. Change how you see yourself. That's how I see myself. And listen, when people say, oh, you think you hot shit? Sure do. If I don't think I'm hot shit, why would anybody else? I think I'm pretty fucking cool. I'm pretty fucking cool because I'm chill. I know I'd had a good time. I don't take myself too seriously. At the same time, I do take myself seriously, but I don't take myself too seriously. I'm not bougie. I'm not so full of myself. I can't hang out with people from all walks of life, but I don't like assholes. I don't care how much money you got. You can't pay me to hang around you if I don't like your attitude, if I don't like your character. If we don't share the same morals and stuff, I'm not kicking it with you anyway. I don't give a shit. Because I can be with me. Folks got to get to a point of thinking that way about themselves. When you start doing that, then you'll be more discerning about who you let into your world. I can hang out with you too, Shauna. I can hang out with a whole lot of y'all because I can tell by your temperament. You understand? It's an energy thing. But y'all got to be willing to walk away from people that y'all ain't vibing with. Say it again, storyteller. See, y'all be denying your intuition, your gut instincts. I listen to my fucking gut. And if I don't like that energy that you're giving me, I don't want to kick it with you. I don't give a fuck what we doing here. I'm not kicking it with you because I can go hang out with me. I can be miserable alone. Fuck I need you for? Some of y'all don't like to be alone. It goes back to the same thing. Some of you don't like to be alone. If you can't, my mother was big on this. You got to learn to spend time with yourself. If you cannot spend time with yourself, you will become codependent on people and things to fill your every moment. You can't do that. People die. What you gonna do then? You lose things. Things change. What you gonna do then? That's why during the pandemic, so many people were scratching the walls to get out the fucking house. They can't stand being by themselves. The shit drives them mad. And you have to wonder why, because they don't like themselves. Well, if you don't like yourself, you know you could change it. You know you could change. You could fix the things you don't like. Let me tell you, I love hanging out with people. I really do. But there ain't nobody I love hanging with more than me. Shit. I love hanging with me. Say it again, user. I go to the movie. And I'm married and I go to the movies by myself. My husband, he don't really like to do shit like that. Shit. I'll go out to restaurants alone. I will go to movie. You know, listen, this chick here, I went to see the Titanic by myself. My husband didn't want to see the Titanic. I did. He said, you want me to sit through 2.5 hours of watching a ship sink that I already know gonna sink? I don't want to see that shit. Okay, I'll go. And I did. And enjoyed every minute of it. Look, Nerler said, went to Six Flags by myself, yes, and bet you had a grand time. Because you ain't have to fight with nobody about what rides to get on. You went to see The Conjuring by yourself? I call The Conjuring a love story. Oh, it's such a relaxing movie. But then I'm built different. I sleep to horror movies. But you understand, some people don't like to spend time alone. Oh, you're an only child. Funny thing is, I ain't even an only child. I got 2 brothers. So I might as well have been an only child. Let's just keep it all 100. When you're the only girl in the house, you might as well be an only child. But I was the oldest and the only girl. Might as well have been an only child. So I don't have a problem keep spending time to myself. It don't bother me. You got to learn to be one with you. When you get comfortable with you and you know who you are, and then you start dating, you're going to weed out the bullshit real fast. Because it's an energy thing. It's an energy thing. You're going to weed it out real fast. And you're not going to want nobody to disturb your peace. You're peaceful to yourself. You ain't going to let nobody come in and disrupt that shit. Oh, you go to the seafood feast by yourself? Good. And you have a better time. Honestly, I have found when I go places alone, it's really because I can be more of an introvert. But when I go places alone, I'm actually more inclined to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? That's okay, KJ, not to have friends. Listen, I have a small subset of friends. I do have friends, but I'm not big on making a lot of friends. I'm always suspicious of people. When people tell me, oh, I got a lot of friends, I don't trust people like that. And I'm going to tell you why I don't. Because I learned this from my mom. People who say they have a lot of friends don't know what friendship is. Because they don't know the difference between an acquaintance and a friendship. Those are 2 different things. You understand? I can just because me and you may go to the mall together and we like to shop together, that don't mean we friends. You feel me? That is not what that means. That means we're acquaintances. But a lot of times people think, oh, because you hung out with somebody 5 times, y'all friend. No. And so when I hear people say, oh, I got hundreds of friends, I'm like, I don't trust that motherfucker. I don't trust that motherfucker. Because they don't know what a friendship is. So soon as it get tough, them motherfuckers out because they not really friends anyway. Yeah, going up to strangers and starting a conversation is a great social experience to try. And what you're going to find is most people love to have conversation. Most people are pretty cool to talk to, especially if you find them alone. We tend to act different when we're around people we know. But when we're in a space all by ourselves, we tend to kind of let our guard down and talk. And I say that to all of you to say, especially if you're still dating, you got to learn how to communicate with people and hold conversation. Learn how to tell jokes, laugh, have a good time, talk about different things, not be so heavy all the time. You got to learn how to do that. You learn how to hold conversation, man, you could take over every room you come into. See, me, I can go into any room. It doesn't matter what the age is, whether they're children, whether they're elderly, it don't matter. Rich, poor, I'm going to come into that room. I'm going to be me, and guaranteed I'm going to win a couple folk over before I leave. I'm going to have a couple haters before I leave too, but I ain't going to give a shit. That's the difference. I won't care. Quiet as kept. If I find out that I have a hater in the room, then I'm really going to perform. Because I'm going to make it my business to make that person hate me more. You can hate me now. Hey, because I won't stop now. You can hate me, then hate me. What can I do? Listen, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Hating is a motivator. It's not designed to get me to stop. It gets me to keep going. And it should get you to do the same thing. What time is it? Oh, okay. I got to start wrapping up soon. Okay. One more thing I want to talk to y'all about. Y'all see that story about Gilbert Arenas, man? I got to make a video about it because nobody's talking about it. Y'all see that Gilbert Arenas got locked up? Again? Did you see it? Yeah, I would consider him a Diddy Jr. Gilbert Arenas been fried under the radar a long time, but he don't like women. He don't really like them. He likes to degrade women more than anything, but that's another topic. But y'all see he got arrested again. Oh yeah, he got arrested again for running a legal gambling ring in his house. He was renting out his house. He had women that were being paid. They were doing other things in there too, with other substances too. And then had the audacity to come out of the courtroom the other day when he was arraigned, laughing, saying, oh, they can't touch me, they can't touch me. I guess he forgot we're in the Trump administration. This is how you get an example made out of you. That's how this happens. But Gilbert out there, he's so arrogant. He is so arrogant. I just never understood. Again, I guess the women who were pursuing him were doing it for money, so they got what they got, because I don't understand it. I don't even understand how you could date a guy like that. He's an asshole. You can tell he's an asshole. You could tell. You could tell. I just don't, yeah. But yeah, he got caught up again, man. Gilbert was caught up again. Oh, and Faison Love is in court too. Big Worm. Yeah, he's in court too. He's up on charges too. And his is even more ridiculous. I saw the story yesterday. A judge has decided that they can move forward with the trial because there's enough evidence to move forward. His is ridiculous. Y'all ain't gonna even be, you might get mad at him because it's so stupid and ridiculous, but it's not what you think. Big Dummy, he booked a hotel room through a third-party website, right? He goes to check in to the hotel, and they don't honor his reservation. He gets mad. And so he decides to rip the credit card machine off the desk, and he threw it at the lady at the front desk. She says he threw it at her head, and she says she ended up with a concussion. I don't know if she did or not, but that's what she says. But now they're going forward with the trial because they say it's enough evidence to try. Yes, he got mad and ripped the credit card machine off the thing and threw it at her head. I'm like, what is going on with people, y'all? People are crashing out and losing it. Faison Love did that. The guy who played Big Perm, or I called him Big Perm, listen. Big Worm in Friday. He did. He's in court. He is in court. He's in trouble too. He's tied up in the system too. Everybody's getting tied up. Now, something I want y'all to pay attention to. I just saw this because Trump is going to notice this as I wrap up. In El Salvador, Bukele, he approves an indefinite presidential re-election and extends presidential terms to 6 more years. So the party of the president of El Salvador, they've approved constitutional changes to allow indefinite presidential re-election and extend presidential terms to 6 years. Understand? Oh, he's fake too, Bukele. But understand, Trump's paying attention to all that shit. What did I tell y'all from the beginning? That the Trump administration eventually is going to be like Weekend at Bernie's. They're going to just put his ass on a stick. What did I tell y'all? They just going to put his ass on a stick? Because JD ain't got enough influence. And I stand by what I say. But that is outright just, it's corruption. It's utterly corruption. And we got to pay attention. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to say one more thing. Y'all see that smile that came to my face? As we wrap up this morning, my prayers to Republican Jesus are answered so often that I can't even keep up at how much my prayers get answered from Republican Jesus. But y'all, get this. This is what Republicans voted for. This is what they voted for. Okay? Not looking like Grandpa on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's what RFK Jr.'s skin looked like. Anyway, FEMA, are y'all ready? Got some good news. FEMA has denied grants to 3 Kentucky counties hit by devastating storms. Oh, wow, yay! This is what conservatives voted for, right? This is what they voted for. They say that FEMA has denied requests for 3 Kentucky counties affected by severe storms last spring and deemed the state ineligible for hazard mitigation grants that would help prepare for future disasters. It said that FEMA officials claim the areas did not suffer enough damage to merit federal support. But the move is just the latest in a series of denials from the agency because they're sifting the burden on to the respective states. And you know what's so beautiful? We know Kentucky doesn't have enough money. They said, you know that he rejected Maryland last week for disaster assistance after record level flooding in May destroyed hundreds of homes and businesses and roads and public infrastructure, leaving close to $16 million worth of damage. So got rid of that. Trump is still calling for dismantling the agency. He says we want to wean off of FEMA. We want to bring it back to the state level. FEMA also terminated a multi-billion-dollar grant program funding infrastructure upgrades that build resiliency, a move challenged in court by 20 states earlier this month. Listen. It says Kentucky's governor, Andy Beshear, said he was disappointed in the decision, but added that the state appreciates the assistance provided to some counties more devastated by the historic flooding, landslides, and major tornado outbreak in April and May. The harm in the 3 counties left out of the designations, the agency said, was not severe enough to merit inclusion. We are actively comparing damage assessments, and we plan to appeal. No one cares, Andy. That's the Trump administration saying you haven't suffered enough. You must suffer just a little more. I'm glad. That's what Kentucky. I'm with you. Thank you, Trump. It isn't too many times that I say thank you to Donald Trump. Thank you for denying Kentucky FEMA aid. Oh, y'all hear my stomach. I'm hungry. I got to start back wrapping up. Look, the hunger is real. And this morning I am making bacon No eggs. Bacon, grits with cheese, hot sauce. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. It is a filling breakfast, and I plan to have it this morning. I plan to have it. What do they say? What movie is this from? What's a grit? Go ahead, you try it. No, you first. You first. What movie is that? I love that movie. Exactly. My Cousin Vinny. You got it. That is my movie. I love me some. The two Utes. The two what? The two Utes. The two what? I'm sorry, Anna. The two youths. Man, that is my movie. I shot the clerk. You shot the clerk. I shot the clerk. Listen, I might watch that today. I love that damn movie. I could watch that movie 50, 11 times over. You think I'm hostile? Where do you see me tonight? Listen, don't play with Marissa Tomei. Don't play with her in that movie. She was so good in that movie. So good in that movie. I thank you all for joining me this morning. Don't forget, I told you the Straight No Chaser podcast, a new episode pops tonight. Yes, they're instant grits. I know, no respecting Southerner would make instant grits. I know. But I don't want to wait 20 minutes to cook the grits on the damn stove. Later for that shit. I am cooking them in the microwave this morning. Okay? Yeah, I'm cooking them in the microwave this morning. Yes, 5011. Because we know 5011 times it means a lot to black people. That's a measurement. If a black person says 5011 to you, that's a measurement. It means a lot. It means don't stop until you feel it in your soul. The bottom of your feet have to start itching. That's when you hit 5011. My mama used to say it too, but I know it's a black measurement. It's no specific measurement. It's a feeling. 5011 times. You know, when somebody say, such and such went in and out of this house 5011 times, you know it's a lot. You don't know exactly how much, but you know it's a lot. You never seen My Cousin Vinny. Oh, the horror. What did it look? I need something that's like, dang, I don't even have, look. Yeah, I had to hit that. Like, you never seen My Cousin. What? Oh, no. Oh, no. You've never seen My Cousin Vinny. Now, I've seen that 5011 times. Huh? Wow, it's one of the best movies ever. You've got to put it on your list to watch My Cousin Vinny this weekend. You have got to, if for nothing else. You have got to watch it this weekend. Come on. I don't even like Ralph Macchio anymore, but I like that movie and I like him in it. But the movie is really because of, you love the movie because of Joe Pesci and Marissa Tomei. That judge is hilarious too. And the guy who plays the prosecutor. But I think the guy who plays the prosecutor, he's better in The Distinguished Gentleman. If you have not seen The Distinguished Gentleman, you need to see that. Well, some bitch. Now that's what you need to see too. You need to see both of them this weekend. My Cousin Vinny and Distinguished Gentleman. You need to see both of those. You've got to see Distinguished Gentleman because if for nothing else, because of what you see happening in the Trump administration, that's what makes Distinguished Gentleman so damn good. Yep, and the guy who played the judge was on the Munsters. Yep, he was Herman Munster. He was good in My Cousin Vinny, though. He couldn't stand Vinny's ass. But thank y'all for joining me this morning. I greatly appreciate it. Look, we got over 160,000 likes this morning. I appreciate that. I tell you, I appreciate your time more than anything because you know that's what's so important. You said, what's the name of the movie about the Christians? Stigmata. 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 You need to see Stigmata, My Cousin Vinny, and The Distinguished Gentleman. Those three great movies. I'm going to be back on here live at 5 Eastern Standard Time here on TikTok. I'll be back on here live this afternoon, so I will see you then. I know that you guys are going to have a great day. I already know this. I ain't got to guess, right? Thank you all for the gifts. I want to give a shout out to my top 5 gifters because I do this every live. Number 1, Handsome Russ Nelson. Thank you so much, Handsome. Number 2, Beautiful Stacy D. Number 3, Beautiful Create Waves. Number 4, Beautiful Lori. Number 5, Beautiful Kiana Black. And a special shout out to number 6, Beautiful Shauna B. Thank you all for joining me today. I will see you back on here this afternoon, live at 5, right? I love you all so much. Don't forget to check out the Straight No Chaser podcast when it pops today. Also, those of you in paid tiers on Patreon, I added 12 new. I made it 12 new voice notes available for you yesterday on Patreon. You're going to love it. Talking about all different type of things that I can't talk about on TikTok or some other platforms because you get striked for it. But it's conversations that we need to have. I'm having one come out where I talk about Caitlyn Jenner. Because we got to have a conversation about Caitlyn Bruce Jenner. We got to talk about that. Because Caitlyn's a mean girl. And I want to talk about that. I love you guys. I'm going to put this live on TikTok. I said on TikTok, on YouTube this morning. All the lives from yesterday are already on YouTube. I will see you all. I've been on here since about 8 this morning, Lola. But I'll be back in live at 5. I'll see you all this afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to tell you like I always tell you. Don't let nobody live rent-free in your head. Don't feed the trolls. And you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. Peace, you guys. I love you, and I'll see you this afternoon.